Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live. And what is today? Today is Wednesday, September 30th, 2020. We are again at the final hour of the trading day, my favorite hour to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades. During the regular part of the day traders on the algorithms, they are the ones that are in control of moving the price around. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they're dealing with the most money. And because they're dealing with the most money, they have the power to take the price control away from the day traders on the algorithms that are trading it. So I consider them smart money. I like to follow what they are doing. I think it's an edge in my trading, and that's why I do it. So, okay, wow, what a day. It's been crazy the last little bit. Right now, the Dow Jones is up 382 points, up 1.39%, although it was up over 500. The NASDAQ is up 119 points, up 1.07. And the S&P is up 34.79, up 1.03%. So thank you everybody for coming today. I really appreciate you making the time and investing your time here during the day at this channel. I hope that this channel is helping you learn some good trading and investing principles. So thank you to all for coming, and thanks for all the great input and the contributions that you have to the channel. I really am appreciative that we have such a nice, great group. So, all right, well, here's the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them moving forward. After that, I've had a couple day trades today that I'm going to share with you. After that, we are going to go over the board of your positions, and looks like we have some really good positions there today. So we're going to go through each one, take a look. After that, I have gone through my list, my watch list. I've also taken a look at the results of Kamal's scanner, and I have three requirements whenever I look to enter a trade. I look for a combination or a confluence of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. I look at indicators such as MACD, RSI, moving averages, V1, V2 entry signals, ATR channels. I consider all of those potential groups of buyers, and you'll put yourself in the best position to have a profitable trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. It will really dramatically increase your chances of having a profitable trade. Requirement number two, I need to have a good risk to reward ratio. Very often I can have a really good confluence of signals, but based upon where my stop would be below me and based upon where my resistance would be above me, it doesn't make sense. I always want to make sure I have the correct ratio. If I'm risking $100, I want to be able to make 200 or more to the upside. And then number three, I say this every day, and I hope that you take it in, but please be aware of how many positions you have. Be aware of how many positions you buy in a single day. Be aware of how correlated your positions are. I have a rule. I will never buy more than 60%. I'll never have more than 60% of my account heat at play, regardless of how uncorrelated my positions are. That's just one rule I've learned, something I've learned from Steve Burns, and it makes sense. It works well for me, and just a suggestion to think about. But when the market's going up, it's great to have all sorts of correlated positions if that industry is going down. But we want to be in this for the long run. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Every trade is just the next one of the next 1,000 trades, and you do have to keep some correlation in mind. All right, so I'm going to go through the watch list. I'm going to go through Kamal's results, and I'm going to try to narrow it down to the very best one at the end of the day, maybe two, depending if they're correlated or not. But I have seen there's some really good signals today, some really good crossover signals on some big monster, big cap growth stocks. So we haven't had that for a while, so that should be interesting. And then if I find something, like I said, right before the end of the day, I will go ahead and make the trade. After the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you have any stock symbols that you'd like me to look at during the day, please put them in the chat, put an asterisk by it. I'll do my very, very best to get to it before the market closes. And then after the market closes, if you've had any new entries or exits today, if you could please be so kind, wait till the market closes before updating me about those. That way I'm done teaching, markets closed, pressure's off, done trading, all that kind of stuff, and we'll spend as much time as we need, okay? Okay, so that's the plan. Oops, sorry. I'm going to run that U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back in about 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. Deep breath. Brian is here. Hey Brian, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Dan is here. Hi Greg and Gossett Group. Hi Dan, good to see you, my friend. Bob is here. Hi Bob, always good to see you. Evan says good afternoon. Good to see you, Evan. Miko is here. Hi Miko, good afternoon, Greg and everyone. Hello Miko. Chris S is here with the smiley face. Hey Greg. Hey Chris, appreciate you coming, sir. Gary says hi Greg and group. Hi Gary. Frank says hello Greg and group. Steve Burns says hello everyone. Good to see you, Steve. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here, sir. I really mean that. Thank you so much. It's a big deal. It's a big deal to have the great and famous author, trader, educator, mentor Steve Burns right here in the live chat. It seems unreal every day to me, but I do appreciate it. Thank you, Steve, so much. Steve says, I have full risk on in my trading account and now only have room to add to ETFs in my IRA. So that probably means, maybe I'm incorrect, but I think I'm correct, that Steve has 60% of his capital at work. Brian says, thoughts on BRKB, CAT, CRDW, Netflix, Walmart. Okay, let's try to go through those real quick. BRKB. BRKB. I don't have a BRKB, Brian. Let me do that again. BRKB. I don't have a BRKB available on my chart. Sorry about that. Caterpillar, yes, Caterpillar is on my list today. It does have a 520 crossover here, Brian. This does backtest well. I checked it earlier today, so that is definitely on my watch list. CRDW crowd. Well, it's a V1, but here we made a lower high. See how this high is lower? This high is lower than this high. When I make a lower high, I need to wash out that first low before I can get into it. I mean, it's not bad. You know, it's a V1, but ideally I would like it much better if it could have washed out this low. That's just my rule. Doesn't mean it can't go up. It is a V1. It's above the 5-day moving average. But for me, I need a false breakout and then a V1. This is just a V1 up against a lower high. Crowd. Oh, I just looked at that one. Netflix looks like it has a 520 crossover and a MACD crossover. Netflix does backtest well. As a matter of fact, let me write this down. All right, I'm going to do my best to get through here today. We have a lot to get through. So if I'm rushing today, you'll understand why. There's a lot of things to look at the end of the day. All right, so Netflix does look pretty good. MACD crossover, 520 crossover. Above the 50 RSI, that all looks pretty good. Let me put this over here. Okay. Now, what else did we want to look at? Walmart. Walmart looks really good also. It's on my list. What Walmart has going for it, it has all this sideways motion, has a 520 cross, and it took out the high, which this fractal. And I'll speak more about this here. I mean, it's a little extended today, which concerns me a little bit, but you know, return to value, sideways motion, then you need some kind of trigger. Well, technically, it is a V2. I think we have a 520 crossover. No, that happened yesterday, maybe. Yeah, that happened yesterday. Shoot. And then here's the high. But what I really like is this sideways motion and the breakout of this fractal. Here's the high with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. Earlier in the day, it was way up. We did have quite a big sell-off about an hour ago. So I definitely might consider that. William says, hello, Greg and team. Hi, William. Good to see you, sir. Brian says, Berkshire. Oh, BRK_B. Yeah, I don't see anything there. It looks like it already possibly rejected the 50 RSI. Yep, it did. So it rejected the 50 RSI, rejected the 20. Yeah, there's really nothing I like there. But yeah, on my chart, that's BRK_B. Steve says, TrendSpider is programming the Steve Burns ribbon indicator into their platform. Hey, how about that? You know you've made it when they name an indicator off from you. That's fantastic. Steve says you are correct. 60% risk on. Silver has too much of a correlation with stocks, so I'm not counting it as diversification. Sometimes I will take 60 stocks plus an uncorrelated position. Not now. Okay. All right. So speaking of positions, let us get to it and see what's happening. AMD, Gary, Steve, Frank at a half position. Yes, Brian and myself did buy Advanced Micro Devices yesterday with the 520 crossover. Bought it at 81.78. I will stay in this trade as long as the price stays above both the 5 and the 20. If the price closes below both the 5 and the 20, I'll get out of half. If the 5 then crosses back under 20, I'll get out of the second half. MACD went positive today. It is up 0.75% today. No profit targets, but still positive. Etsy. All right. Well, this has been the stinker of the day. I did buy Etsy back here on 9/28 with the 520 crossover. Bought it at 123.72. Quad is in this with me as well. It's been profitable, came down. Been profitable, came down. But again, this is a 520 crossover, so as long as the price stays above the 5 and the 20, I will keep it. If the price closes below both the 5 and the 20, I'll get out of half. If the 20 or the 5 actually crosses below the 20, I will get out of the second half. And if it comes down here to my emergency stop, before all of that, I will go ahead and get out. But down today, which is kind of a bummer. SPY. All right, real quick. Everybody knows the drill. I buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I sell it first thing the next morning based on a long-term backtested study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. Since 1993, they tested 2 approaches. Approach number 1, buy the SPY at the open, hold it all the way through the day, sell it at the close. This approach every day since 1993 returned a negative 13.9%. The second option, which is the one I use, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning. This approach, positive 634.2 compared to negative 13.9. So big difference. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. It does not mean because it worked in the past, it's going to work in the future. But if I'm going to allocate money towards something, it's going to be something that has good back-tested results. Blue line, buy the close, sell the next morning. Orange line, buy the open, sell the close. Big difference, not even close, not even in the same universe. Over time, this has just gone up, but there are significant drawdowns here. So if you're considering using this, use a very small position size based upon your maximum loss divided by the value of the 2 ATR, or like a 5% position size if you want to be a little bit more extreme, like a 10%, but I would recommend like a 5% if you're going to use it. But again, past performance is no guarantee of future results, right? So I did buy the SPY yesterday at 332.37. I sold it overnight for a gain, sold it at 333.10. So bought it at 332.37, sold it at the open at 333.10. I'll be buying this again today. And speaking of the SPY, Steve and I did buy this. Oh no, that's sorry. Steve, Dan, Brian, and myself did buy the SPY when we had the 1050 EMA crossover. Bought at 333.82. I did hit one profit target up here today at 336.65. So I'm grateful for that. As long as the price stays above the 10 and the 50, I will keep it. If it closes below both moving averages, I will get out of half. If the 10 then crosses under the 50, I will get out of the second half. So kind of a bummer that we gave so much back from the top, but I am glad that I locked in some profits there in the preset profit target that I had. All right, Apple. I did have a good day trade today on Apple. Right here, we were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We had sideways movement. We had a V1 bounce off the 20. We also had the red triangle, which means that we had a V1 to the downside and immediately reversed back up. That is a good signal. It was a good risk to reward. I bought it here at 115.86. Rejected the 70 RSI at 116.57, and then we had a close below the previous day's low at 116.66. So I got in at 115.86, sold half at 116.57, and another half at 116.66. All right. And then I do have puts that I sold on Apple. I sold them down to 77.50 down here. Yep. I sold them at 77.50 with the 200 and the 250 day above as support on the daily, on the weekly. These charts get frustrating. The negative third ATR channel and the 50-week moving average above, and on the monthly, the 20 EMA and the 1 ATR channel. So as long as the price stays above 77.50 by November 20th, I will be able to keep all of the premium, and it is nicely in the money at the moment. Frank and Kamal also have Apple. Frank is in at 111, so it's at 115.26, so he's up $4.33. Kamal is in at 13.34, so he's up about $2 on the trade. Amazon was nicely higher earlier, holy smokes, but it's come down. I do have a option position in Amazon. I have it all the way down here at 2,300. Currently it's 31.42. Again, I sold premium at $2,300. As long as the price stays above the 200 and the 250, I will keep the premium. I picked it because the 200 and the 250 is above. On the weekly, I have the negative third ATR channel all the way down here, the 50-week moving average, and the monthly, I have the 20-month moving average and the 1 ATR channel above. So that is why I sold the premium there. As long as it stays above 2,300 by November 20th, I'll be able to keep all the premium. Okay. Had a nice short today on the Qs. Right here, this was such a good short setup. I almost didn't take it because I thought it was too good. But we have this sideways motion. We had a poke above. We had a false breakout to the upside and reversal with the V1. I shorted here at 280.31. Here we rejected the 50 and came back up. So I covered half at 279.80. And then I kept it on the second leg down until we rejected the negative third ATR channel. I covered there. So I sold short at 280.31. I got out of half at 279.70. And I got out of half at 278.78. And that was just the perfect place to get out of the short. I guess I should have gone long. You know, I almost took this short right here. But I had some recency bias. The market had been so strong, but you see the big down bar here on the 5 minutes. I almost shorted when we rallied back to halfway there, but my recency bias said, no, we're too strong. I'm not going to do it. And look at that. That would have been a great short, but I didn't take that one. Look right here on the Qs. We just rallied. We just rejected the under 30 and over 30, which is a good sign, I mean, I'm not going to day trade this, but it rejected the 30 RSI and it rejected the 250 day or 250 moving average on the 5 minutes. So that would offer a good risk to reward there, but I'm not taking that. So that's it. So two really good day trades. Gave a lot of the profit back today with this sell-off at the end of the day, but that's how it goes. Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Kamal says, hey, Greg and gang. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Okay. Well, let's take a look at everybody's positions here. QLD. Dan, Steve, and Brian. Oh, no. Steve bought QLD, which is the double leveraged Qs, bought it at 90.49 with the 1050 crossover. Originally went up just beautifully, but then just came crashing on down here. Steve bought it at 90.49. It is at 90.74, so it is still up on the trade. So let's be grateful for that. GDXJ, Yas bought GDXJ at 58.35, has moved up nicely, then had a big move down, rallied a little bit, but down today. So down on the day. Down on the trade, AGQ, oi. So Frank has a half position. Quad emailed me earlier and wanted to point out he sold it for a 12% profit. So nice going, Quad. So he got out, I think, before this today. And Steve and Kamal and Yas bought it at 41.41 approximately, with the under 30, over 30, under the 100, back over the 100. Rallied up beautifully. This was up like 8% or something, but down 8.54% today. So it looks like back to break even, but that's a tough one, 8.62%. So back to about break even on that trade. That's unfortunate. Zanga, Quad, also wanted me to know that he sold today. A few of us did buy Zanga back here at 8.36. Moved up beautifully. We bought it with the false breakout to the downside, under 30, over 30, V1, and just rallied like a monster. I got out half here, and I got out a half yesterday, and I'm not exactly sure where Quad got out, but he did get out somewhere today. So Zanga is done. That was a really, really good trade. Google, David and Steve Burns bought Google with the bounce off the 200-day moving average and the getting very close to the 30 RSI. Bought at 1421.86. Is up 0.06 today, up 96 cents. Was up much higher, but still profitable on the trade. Gary sold puts, November 20 puts, the $1,200 put. So as long as it stays above $1,200 by November 20th, Gary will be able to keep all the money on that trade. DDM. Steve did buy DDM, which is the double leverage Dow with the 1050 EMA crossover. Bought it yesterday at 45.88. It is 46.36. 0.7. So, excuse me, way off the highs, but still up on the trade. So congratulations, Steve. PayPal, Brian bought PayPal back here at 183.40. It is now 196, up nicely today, up 0.77%. SHLL, Bob bought SHLL at 46.63. It's been a wild ride, all the way down, all the way back up, but it is profitable on the trade, but down 5.51% today, but profitable on the trade. LVGO, Frank bought at 132.50, sold half the next day at the profit. Is still profitable, the half that he has less, but it is, it's break even. Okay, so break even on the day, but positive on the trade. IBB is Steve. Where is my IBB? Okay. Oh, here it is. IBB. Steve bought IBB with the 530 EMA crossover. Bought it at 134.44. Like everything else, was up very nicely today. It is currently at 134.78. He bought it at 134.44. So bummer to give up that profit, but it is still profitable on the day. So let's concentrate on the positive. TVTY, bought TVTY. Bob bought it over the 200-day, bought it at 13.65. It is up 2 cents today, but nicely up on the trade. Shopify, Kamal's had a nice trade on Shopify that he bought at $960. Even nice V2 and a breakout of a fractal. Was up earlier, but down a little bit today, but still nicely up on the trade. He bought it at $960. It's at $1,018.40. SSRM, Kamal bought SSRM. Oh, I didn't put the line. Right around here with the close above the 200-day moving average. It is up 0.81% today, so he is up on the trade. Very nice. Intel, Gary, I think, is the last person in Intel. He sold the November 20th 45.45 put, so this means as long as the price stays above $45 by November 20th, Gary will be able to keep all the premium. It looks pretty good right now. Don't want to jinx it, but that's it. And then SPY. Oh yeah, we already have SPY. So that's it. So some good ones, some bad ones. This morning it was just looking phenomenal. You know, after the debate last night, the futures were up. When I went to bed, the futures were way down. I was like, oh no. Then I woke up, I was pleasantly surprised. Hey, Frank has a poem for us. Let me just put this over here. How are we doing on time? Oh, it always goes by so fast. You can't fool someone who trades for a living. They know the market is unforgiving. So they work with the process, they never forsake, and respect the market's give and take. Oh, that's good. One more time. You can't fool someone who trades for a living. They know the market is unforgiving. So they work with the process, they never forsake, and respect the market's give and take. You know, Frank's right. If you trade for a living, you better have your A game on, and you better have a process that you do not forsake. There's one thing for trading for fun if you have a regular job, but if you're trading for a living, it's a whole more serious level. Thank you, Frank. Kamal says, I am at a AGQ BE trade. Damn thing came all the way back. I will update you end of day. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, it's a bummer. Steve says QQQ is working on a 520-day EMA crossover. Dead even currently. Yep. I am definitely looking at buying the Qs. That was a nasty reversal. Kamal, shocking drop. Kamal said it's been a selling the whole day. Nasty for sure. Kamal says Trend Spider is going to be all Eagles, Dragons, and Ducks. Wow. Dan says Steve flying eagle seems too good to be true, but my eyes don't lie. All right. Listen, before we go down through the results of my watch list and the scanner, before we start taking a look for an end of day trade, let me just talk a little bit about trader psychology. Most important skill you're ever going to learn and develop in trading. You have to learn how to trade so that you can identify support, resistance, entry signals, exit signals, and so forth. But creating that plan and following it is a whole different thing. It's like dieting, right? It's very easy to lose weight. We know we just need to exercise more, eat better food, but we have the perfect formula to do it, but it's hard to do sometimes. And it's the same in trading. I think it's a perfect analogy. We know what to do. Get in, take small losses, let winners run, be patient, right? We all know this, but following it is a whole different thing. So that's why I like to touch on trader psychology. This is Julian Komar at blog Julian Komar on Twitter. Great channel, great trader. He's from Germany, puts out great information. Let's see what Julian has to say. As a small retail trader, you have the big benefit of moving to cash. Most institutional traders are not allowed to do this, or they can't because of the size. So be aware of that and use this advantage when times are bad. You know, one of the main advantages we as small retail traders have, we have a lot of disadvantages: speed, execution, money, but we do have advantages. And the first one is patience. We don't have to take a swing unless it's a perfect pitch. That's in my opinion, that's our number one advantage. And the second thing is we can just quickly go to cash. We don't have to hedge and all this kind of stuff. You know, like Julian said, these big financial institutions they can't really just get out quickly because it will move the market, right? So they hedge with options or other things like that. But, you know, having patience is a big advantage for us. And two, we don't have to hedge. We just press a button and we're out. We're not going to move the market. So as a small retail trader, you have the big benefit of moving to cash. Most institutional traders are not allowed to do this, or they can't because of size. So be aware of that and use this advantage when times are bad. Just like Steve Burns does, right? When things aren't going well, when he doesn't have a signal, he just gets out, right? So thank you, Julian Komar. I appreciate that. And everyone go to his site, Julian Komar on Twitter. Subscribe to his channel. Be glad you did. Okay. Let me take a quick look here. Etsy's not doing so hot, but it is staying above the 5 and the 20, so I will keep it. SPY has come almost all the way back. So again, did have the good overnight SPY trade. We'll be buying this again at the close. Apple had the good day trades today, is up today. I'm glad for that. But you know, my main purpose with Apple right here is keeping Apple above $77.50 by November 20th. Like I have any control over that, right? But gives you a little bit of cushion, wriggle room, selling puts in the fact that if it just moves sideways and does nothing, I'm happy with that. If it goes down slightly, I'm happy with that. Just try to avoid big plunges. Amazon, same thing. Sold puts down to $2,300. So if it just moves sideways, I'm happy with that. Rather have it go up. Okay. Let's take a look at some possibilities today. Apple does, let's see, I was looking for a 520 crossover. Currently the 5 is 113.51 and the 20 is 13.78. So I was not going to buy this 520 crossover for me personally because I day trade so much into Apple and it would be kind of a pain in the butt as far as keeping all my records straight. Had the 5 crossed over the 20, I was going to buy some calls for an account that I manage, but right now doesn't look like the 5 is above the 20. So nothing to do on Apple here unless at the end of the day we get some kind of rally. Qs. Steve had just mentioned the Qs. Let me get rid of my intraday stuff. 520 crossover is a good crossover approach for the Qs. Currently it's 274.60. The 20 is 274.41. So this, as long as the reading of the 5 stays above the reading of the 20, this will be a valid crossover with the 520 crossover. I will take this today if the 5 crosses over or stays over the 20 at the close. Caterpillar has a 520 crossover. This also back tests well. I tested it out this morning. It does back test well, but you know, like I said at the beginning of the program, I'm really going to have to take a look at correlation, how much I want to buy, because there's a lot of signals today. But this is definitely a possibly one also. So let me move Apple. Oops, sorry. Let me move Apple over here. MasterCard, earlier in the day, we had the 520 crossover. That is a good back-tested approach to buying MasterCard. But right now, we have a 335.45 compared to a 335.69. So if I'm not even can consider this as long as the 5 doesn't cross over the 20. And right now, it's under. So I'm going to move that over there. Merck, earlier in the day, Merck had a nice false breakout to the downside in V2, but it has now untriggered. Earlier in the day, we were above day one's close. Here's day 1, 2, 3. Here's day 2 washes out day 1. Day 3 was above day one's close and the false breakout, but it has untriggered. I like that because not only was a false breakout with the V2, but it also was closing above the 50-day moving average. But as is right now, I'm not interested in anymore. Walmart, we talked about Walmart. Let me take you over to the fractal chart. Let's look here. You can see the alligator, the 3 lines, the blue, the red, and the green are starting to really become coiled here, reflecting that they're sideways motion, but you don't really need a chart to see that. You can see that it's moved sideways, 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 but here's the high with 2 lower highs to the left, 2 lower highs to the right, and we did take out this fractal. So that is a pretty good fractal setup with using the alligator indicator. So that one I am considering for sure. XLF had triggered a V2 earlier, but not anymore. So I'm going to take that one off. Goldman Sachs, I am considering buying Goldman Sachs. We have a higher low here. If you remember the other day, we had rallied. I was like, I'm not going to buy the close over the 200-day moving average from a lower low. But now we have a higher low and MACD has gone positive. So I am considering buying Goldman Sachs if it closes over the 200-day, and it is. If we could get some follow-through movement, we would have a 520 crossover, which would bring in more buyers, and we had a MACD crossover today. So that's interesting. Atlantic Power, looks like we already rejected the 50-day moving, the 50 RSI, I would imagine. Let's take a look. Oh, really close. Really close, but right in the ballpark. I think there's better than Atlantic Power today because we have such, we have the big monster stacks. Momo. Well, we have a false breakout from this previous low. Oh, we had an under 30, over 30, but now it is back under 30. So I'm going to take that one off. Our friend Eli Lilly, false breakout to the downside, rejection of the 200-day and a V1. Pretty good. We'll keep that one. MCK, McKesson. I used to work with McKesson when I was in the chewing gum business. Got right there to the 50 RSI, so I'm going to take that one off. I think there's better. DBI. I don't see anything there. Cerner Corporation, pretty strong. MACD crossover, 520 crossover, close above the 50-day moving average. Let's look over on the weekly. V2 on the weekly. Plenty of volume there, that's for sure. We can keep that one. WB, ooh, big V2, but I just don't think the risk to reward makes sense with the 200 up here, your stop all the way down here. So I'm going to quickly take that off. BIDU, Baidu, under 50, over 50, plus the V2, not too shabby. Triggered a fractal here. Here's a high with two lower highs to the left. So that did trigger. That's not bad. Pretty close to that 100-day moving average here on the weekly. That one's okay. CrowdStrike. Oh, we talked about that. Has a V1, but it has a lower high. And if we have, when I have a lower high, here's a high, we came down, we made a lower high, I would need it to wash out that previous low. So in other words, I needed to have a false breakout. CVX, Kamal had pointed out to me that a lot of the oil stocks have been hanging around the 30 RSI. Currently though, this is under the 30 RSI. Look over here on the weekly. Yeah, nothing much there. And Netflix looks like it has a 520 crossover, 490, 90, 490, 93, 490, 93. So, 490, 81, 490, 89. So now it is under. All right, Steve said he's going to exit AGQ. Let's see what's happening with AGQ. Right back to about the entry point. But I'll tell you what, if you can get out at your original entry point after you've had a big gain up, that's a sign of maturity in a trader. Johan is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Steve says, I'm long QQQ at 277.29 with 520-day crossover in the IRA. Okay. Excuse me. So, Q is probably one of my favorite. There's a lot of stocks out there, but by buying the Qs, you know, you can kind of get you can basically buy all the big ones because you're buying the NASDAQ 100. It does have the 520 crossover. It does backtest well. It doesn't mean it's going to be a profitable trade, but I am thinking about buying Qs as well. Very likely I will, but it has the 520 crossover. It has a confluence of the MACD crossover. Walmart, I'll tell you what, this is a lot of sideways motion and the trigger of this fractal, the high with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. So I really do like that one. I think I'm going to get rid of Caterpillar. Goldman Sachs is right on the button right now. It's the 200-day moving average 254. Right now it's 255. Eli Lilly's good. I mean, it is good. It rejected the 5-day. I'm going to kind of stick with the big ones today. CERN does look pretty good, I've got to say. V2 on the weekly, on the daily, with that 520 cross, MACD crossover. We did reject the 1 ATR channel. It's a good one, but I think I'm gonna focus on the larger stocks today. BIDU, again, it's good. V2, it's a little high up in the just a touch above the value zone, so I think I'm going to let that one go. And then Netflix is over the 20-day moving average now. This is a tough one, but I'm not going to take Netflix and the Qs at the same time because they're most likely just going to go together, you know. Yeah, so I'm going to have to narrow that down even further. Walmart I do like. This wind up of sidewards motion, you know, you could have a big move out of that. You really could. So I'm considering Walmart. I'm considering Goldman Sachs, but Goldman Sachs may untrigger here. It is still above the 200-day moving average. But I would have to say the Qs, and I would have to say Walmart probably better. So I am leaning towards the Qs with the 520 crossover, and I'm leaning towards Walmart with this big expansion bar taking out this fractal. Moving average is starting to move apart. If we go up another day, we'll get a MACD crossover. So that's what I'm thinking about. William says, hello, good evening. Thought I'd join in whilst on my vacation. Staycation. Oh, fantastic. Hope you're having a good staycation, William. Good to see you. Gary said, I took QQQs for a quick day trade on your call at 276.77 and now thinking about keeping the position. Yeah, sometimes you take a day trade, and if it works well, you just morph it into a swing trade. Right, Gary? I want to look at Walmart one more time here. It's got some volume. I mean, it broke out. And, you know, if we get this stimulus program, of course, that is going to benefit Walmart. Let's take a look intraday and see what it's looking like. Well, better buying it down there than up there. Well, let me take a look at my current positions first before I start getting excited about other positions. All right, so AMD is good. It's up. That's good. SPY, overnight SPY trade is good, and the 1050 crossover is working out nicely. So that, there we go. That is good. One profit target today. Apple, it may give the 520 crossover. It's getting pretty close, but again, I'm not going to buy Apple. I'm going to buy the Qs instead. Amazon is back up. That's good. So Qs. Etsy's the only down one today, but so far so good. So I'm really going to have to decide here. I know I'm buying the Qs, so let's just get that straight. I'll tell you what, I'm going to buy the Qs, Walmart, and Goldman Sachs. However, I'm going to buy a half position of Walmart. I'm going to buy a half position of Walmart, and I'm going to buy a half position of Goldman Sachs because I like them all. But this is really not like taking 3 positions. It's like taking 2 positions. Right, one full one on the Qs with the very defined moving average crossover, 520 crossover, MACD crossover, and then Walmart I like. I've been watching Walmart for a while. I've been saying, this is really going sideways. It's really consolidating. When it breaks, it could break pretty large. And that's the signal. Win, lose, or draw. And then Goldman Sachs does look like it's going to hold above the 200-day moving average. Okay. So that's the plan. I think I'm going to go ahead right now and buy the Qs. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and buy my half a position of Walmart. Okay, let me make sure I've got this correct. Okay, so I have Walmart there. I have Walmart there. I did buy my Qs. Okay. All right, and so the only thing I'm going to kind of watch here is Goldman Sachs to see if it holds above the 200-day, which it does look like it's going to at this point, but it's a volatile market, so who knows? All right, so far the Qs are doing well. So far Walmart's doing well. Let me take a little look-see over here. Take a look at the VIX real quick. What's going on with this guy? Okay, moving down. Let's take a look at the actual VIX chart. Ooh. Oh, no. I always do this. The 10 is still above the 30, but if we had another move down tomorrow on the VIX, we would probably get that cross under, which is kind of what we're looking for. So, all I'm waiting for here is on Goldman Sachs. And it looks like it's going to be okay. Do a little math here. Okay. All right, so I'm just waiting to buy Goldman Sachs here at the end. I've already got my other positions. Qs, Walmart already up from where I bought. I'm glad for that. Gary says, just have to adjust my position size. Oh, very good. Glad you thought about that. William says, question, do you ever buy SPY 10, 15 minutes before the close or always on the close? You know, William, I just program it in my computer so that I do a market on close order, just so I don't have to worry about it. Sometimes I'm looking at other stocks and deciding whether I'm going to buy them right up to the last minute. And so, no, I just put a market on close order to buy the SPY. That way I don't have to worry about it anymore. And sometimes you're going to buy 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the close, and it will go up, and you'll be glad you bought it early. And other times you'll buy it 10, 15 minutes before the close, and it will go down, and you wish you would have waited till the end, right? So like I said, I just put a market on close order. It's already in the system. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, 3 minutes to go. Man, what a crazy day. We had a just unrelenting up move. Don't know what happened. Then it just reversed hard. All right, I'm going to go ahead and buy my Goldman Sachs. Done and done. So everything's taken care of. So that's good. I haven't had this many positions for a while, although some of them are halvies, right? Etsy's a halvie, half position. And let me put Goldman Sachs up here. Let me put Q's here. And let me put Walmart here. Half position on Walmart, full position on the Q's, half position on Goldman Sachs, half position on Etsy. And looks like we're selling into the close a little bit. We'll watch the Qs here at the last minute, see what happens. Ugh, that's not looking good. Look at this volume, everybody, on this last bar here. Unbelievable amount of volume. That's what I'm talking about, the large financial institutions making their decision at the close. Oh, that's not good. Okay, there we go. Wow, what a day. What a day. So if you have new entries, exits today, please put it in the chat. I will get them all updated. If you have any questions, just let me know. Before we get to that, just real quick, just want to remind everybody, I do offer private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I teach a really good course, a total of 15 hours, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. Everything I've learned over the last 24 years in trading, everything I've learned over the last 24 years from all of my mentors and coaches that I've worked one-on-one with, like Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams. Everything I teach is a compilation of everything I've learned from my teachers. The course is $1,000. I think it's worth every single penny and more. So if you're interested, reach out to me. You can send me an email. Email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. And if you do, either email or Twitter me, I'll reply, say, hey, how's it going? Thanks for saying hi. I'd like to set up a Skype call. The Skype call is free. There's no obligation. I'm not going to ask you if you want to take the course. There's no sales pressure whatsoever. It's not a sales call. I just want to get to know you a little bit more, learn about your trading, your history in trading, your challenges, your goals, and then it's a good time for you to ask me about the course. And then when we're done, I'll just say, hey, nice speaking with you. You know, if you decide that you want to take the course in the future, just get back with me and we'll set it up, okay? And then if you like today's podcast, if you found it valuable, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. Let's YouTube know there's some good content in this channel and they will help promote it more and help grow the channel. So if you could hit the thumbs up button before we get out of here, I would really, really, really appreciate that. Okay, so let me take a look and see my transactions here. All right. So I bought SPY, the overnight SPY trade at 334.89. I bought Goldman Sachs at 201.35. I bought Walmart at 140.40, and I bought the Qs at 278.68. Okay, so let's get this all straight. Ooh, big selling at the close. I don't like that. Okay, bought SPY at 334.89, right where it closed. I bought Goldman Sachs at 201.35, so underwater on that one already. 201.35. Okay, bought Walmart. Walmart again. Oh, well, sorry. Goldman Sachs was a half position also. Bought Walmart at 140.40. So underwater on that one with that big sell-off at the close. And bought Qs at 278. This is a full position. 278.68. So that one's underwater also. I guess I should have waited to the very end, shouldn't I? But I couldn't do them all at once, you know. I like to kind of spread them out. Some I take before, other ones I'm watching closer to the end. So that's what we got. That's what we got. So green day on the day, so I'm grateful for that. The day trades definitely helped out, but I didn't like that close. I did not like that close at all. All right, now let me see. Steve, okay. So Steve is also in at 277.29. Good entry, Steve. And Gary, I don't know if Gary's still in there. AGQ. Where did AGQ go? All right. So Steve is out of AGQ, but it was for a profit, so that's good. Unfortunate we had that big pullback here, though. Kamal is also out of AGQ. Quad wanted me to tell everybody that he had sold it for 12% gain. Way to go, Quad. Good job, buddy. Lily. Kamal's and Lily. I like that. It's false breakout downside, V1, rejection to 200, pretty good. And then Goldman Sachs. I don't think I'm going to see Frank saying that he took Goldman Sachs. Frank doesn't like Goldman Sachs. Come on. Good risk to reward ratio at the very least, right? And if we have some follow through tomorrow, we might get some 520 buyers coming in, which would also be good. Gary said, I had a nice under 30, over 30 day in AGQ. Oh, very nice. Yes, says, thanks, Greg and everyone. Add a AGQ. On trailing stop, nice quit profit, and plus QQQ. Okay. Tracy, hey Tracy, good to see you. If Paxton's there, tell him hi. Tracy says, I bought some earlier than got back out. Sounds like I made a good choice, even being new at this. Very good. Glad to hear that, Tracy. Gary says, but a loser in Etsy. Yep, Etsy was the one down today. Gary M did take the Qs. And Walmart. Okay, so Brian took Walmart. Brian M took Walmart, Netflix, Caterpillar, the 520 crossover, okay, and what else? Oh, and CRM. Okay, Brian, good luck with those, bud. Oh, Steve took MasterCard. Guess I didn't turn my phone off, did I? Bump, 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 bump. 338.64. Well, a lot of positions here. I hope we have some follow through tomorrow. Oh, he took it on the 10:30. Let me make a note of that. 10:30. EMA cross. Bob is out of SHLL. Okay. Glad to see you took a profit on that, or you had a profit on that. And TVTY, Bob is out, but he did take a profit, so that's good. Frank stopped out of AGQ at 42 with the profit. Okay, nice, Frank. Steve says, Boba chart, I passed on the 520 crossover, would have moved. I know, I saw that. I was deciding yesterday between Boba and AMD, and I decided the chart looked better on AMD, and look what happened with Alibaba today. Ugh. Trading can be frustrating, man. It can be frustrating. Too much tech exposure, so I passed on it. Johan has the Qs. And Walmart. Oh, Johan, you had Alibaba yesterday? Thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness, Johan. Nice. Nice. I'm so glad somebody had it. Woohoo. Beautiful, 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 Johan. So proud of you. Brian says, nice quad. Oh, I think it's Johan had that. Sorry, Kamal, nice trade. Dan, sold SPY with small profit in the morning, may day trade my way back in tomorrow. Okay. Well, I did not like that close, but it doesn't mean, it doesn't really mean anything. I'd like if it closed better, but look at that last minute. Oy vey. Oh, Tracy had Baba yesterday. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. But you got out today. Okay, good enough. Let's see what's happening after hours. Apple's down. AMD's down. Etsy's down. Goldman Sachs down. Qs are down. SPY's down. Not so good. Not such a good start. Very good, Tracy. Proud of you. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. Seeing a headline here, Pelosi, Mnuchin failed to reach stimulus deal but will continue talks as House pushes ahead with a vote. Steve says, great trade, Tracy. I agree. Fantastic trade. I would have no problem getting out with the 6% gainer. Whoa. Dang. I picked AMD yesterday over Alibaba, unfortunately. And that's how it goes sometimes. But I'm glad a couple of you had it. But it was a valid signal. It was a 520 crossover. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to go for a hike. It's a beautiful day here. So I hope you have a good rest of your day. Please go out and do something nice for somebody, just a smile or a wave or a hello. Do something nice for one human each day. Do something nice for one animal each day. And both the human and the animal will appreciate it. If we all did that every day, the world would be a better place. So like I said, have a good rest of your day. Have a good evening. Be good, be safe. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow and we will see what happens. Steve says, Greg, I emailed you the foreword as it will appear in the book in the Audible version. Thanks so much for the perfect addition to the book. It could not have been any better. Oh, thank you, Steve. I'll tell you, when you said it had to be done over the weekend, I was like, oh my gosh, I was kind of planning on maybe getting a good writer to help me with it because writing is not my strong point, but I'm really glad that you like it. I was very relieved when you emailed me back and said that you like it. So thank you for that. And that was an honor, really was. And I'm looking forward to seeing the email and seeing how it looks. And I'm looking, and everyone should go out and get, when the book comes out, Moving Averages 101, second edition, had a huge impact on my trading. A lot of what I do here and what I teach here is based upon that book. So Johan says, have a good one, everyone. Thank you. Kamal says, thanks, Greg. Happy hiking. Good trades, everyone. Thanks, Kamal. Okay. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.